Derek McInnes has yet to record a win as Rangers manager, so what did we do against Hibs at the weekend?
Penalty to Rangers.
We play our first competitive home game of the season against Hibs this weekend. Usually I'd be sitting here confidently predicting a Rangers victory, but after what we've watched in the opening two matches, I honestly don't know what to expect. The team selection is uncertain, the performance is even more uncertain, and if Rangers fail to win this one, the pressure on Derek McInnes will begin much earlier than anybody expected. This will be Rangers' first competitive match at Ibrox this season, and that brings another element of uncertainty. We've seen Rangers away from home against Dundee United and Jagiellonia, but now we'll see how this new team reacts in front of the home support. Will playing at home give them more energy and confidence, or will the pressure make them even more nervous? After two disappointing performances, the crowd will expect to see a reaction immediately. The first major question is the team selection. After Thursday night's performance, Derek McInnes has decisions to make all over the pitch. Does he stick with the players who've started the season? Does he make several changes? And surely Findlay Curtis has done enough to earn a start. He was Rangers' best player when he came on in Poland, created chances and was unlucky not to score. At this point, I don't understand why he wouldn't be starting. Neither team has started the league season particularly well. Rangers dropped points against Dundee United, while Hibs lost their opening match against Motherwell. That means both teams will already be feeling some pressure. Obviously, the expectations at Rangers are much higher, but Hibs won't want to begin their league campaign with two straight defeats either. They've shown some fight in Europe, so Rangers can't just assume that turning up at Ibrox will be enough to win. If Rangers don't win this weekend, the heat will immediately be turned up on Derek McInnes. That might sound harsh so early in the season, but that's the reality of managing Rangers. A draw against Dundee United was disappointing. The performance in Poland was even worse. If that's followed by dropped points at home against Hibs, supporters will understandably begin questioning the manager, the tactics and the direction this team's heading in. Rangers simply need a victory. More than anything, I want to see a reaction. I want to see urgency from the opening whistle. I don't want another match filled with slow, sideways passing, players taking too many touches and nobody willing to take responsibility. Rangers need to move the ball faster, attack with purpose and make Hibs uncomfortable. We're at home. We should be setting the pace of the match rather than waiting to see what the opposition decides to do. A convincing victory could completely change the mood around Rangers. Football can turn very quickly. Win against Hibs, overturn the European tie at Ibrox, and suddenly the opening draw against Dundee United doesn't look quite as damaging. The concern is that Rangers haven't shown many signs that a convincing performance is coming. We need something to get this team into gear. Hopefully playing at Ibrox and having the supporters behind them can finally provide that spark. We also need to remember that Rangers have gone through a major turnover. There's new players, a new manager and changes throughout the backroom staff. It was never going to become a perfect team overnight. The players need time to understand one another and McInnes needs time to properly implement his ideas. However, Rangers don't get months to slowly find their feet. They need to gel and they need to do it very quickly. We've had seasons where Rangers haven't started particularly well, but have still gone on to win the league. A slow beginning doesn't automatically mean the entire season is finished. However, there's a difference between dropping points and producing performances that make you question the entire team. Right now, the results are concerning, but the performances are even more worrying. Rangers need to show that these opening matches were simply early season problems rather than signs of something much deeper. The biggest concern remains the centre of defence. Rangers desperately need another two rock-solid centre-backs before the transfer window closes. Preferably proven defenders, not projects, not experiments, not players we're hoping might eventually become good enough. We need defenders who can come straight into the team, organise everyone around them and remove some of the chaos we've already seen. Without defensive reinforcements, I don't see Rangers winning anything this season. Hibs will arrive at Ibrox believing they can get something. They've already shown this season that they can respond to a setback in Europe. They'll have watched Rangers' opening performances and seen the defensive mistakes, the lack of urgency and the uncertainty throughout the team. They'll know that if they frustrate Rangers early, the atmosphere could become uncomfortable. That's why it's so important for Rangers to start quickly and give the supporters something positive to respond to. I expect Rangers to win because we're at Ibrox and we simply have to respond. But am I confident that Rangers will win? Not particularly. There's too much uncertainty surrounding the team selection, the defenders and the overall performance. I'm going to predict a narrow 2-1 Rangers victory. However, I wouldn't be surprised if this became another frustrating afternoon where Rangers dominate possession without creating enough clear opportunities. This is already an important match for Derek McInnes and his players. A victory could finally get the season moving and give everyone some confidence before the European return leg. Anything less than a win and the pressure will begin building very quickly. Let me know your predictions for Rangers against Hibs. Who should start the match and do you think Rangers will finally deliver a convincing performance at Ibrox?